did she make your heart stop just as much 15 years after than she did when you were in grade 3?
No, I mean, you could still tell, you can see like the evolution of the person, because obviously, because I moved away, so I didn't like talk to her for like 15 years.
Uh-huh.
But you can still see, you can see the resemblance of that like childish crush, but like the
Yeah.
personality is completely different. Like, but and also she got kind of, like I mean, I'm not gonna say the word.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got it, got it. I don't know. It's those first crushes, like even when you see their photo on Facebook and you're like, whoa, it's been like 15, 17. But I know whenever I see Waniel Dort's photos, like on my Instagram Explore page or just when I'm scrolling on Facebook, it does make me go, oh, I remember you. And then I just keep scrolling. But it does hit differently. It hits differently for sure.
Yeah, like you just always stop to see like, whoa, like they've like changed so much, but they're still like the same person.
Yeah, same eyes, like same energy. You just make me feel some sort of way. But I love First Love. It's something you got to keep sacred to.
That's true.
Amanda,
All
that's
right.
cute.
Well, let's answer Emily's first question.
Mm-hmm.
Between a guy and a girl, how do you know if she's into you?
For guys first.
Yeah,
How do you
sure.
know? How do I know if a guy's into? How do I
Oh,
know if Gordon Lai is into me?
oh, am I supposed to be answering this question?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
As a guy, how do you show a girl that like I'm dropping some subtle hints here and there?
um, honestly, it's just if the guy like makes an effort to like talk to them. Like, if I'm a guy, like I'm never gonna message a girl like randomly, like unless like I'm really
No,
into them.
that's weak. That's weak. Come on. I
Well,
have a lot of friends that are guys that will just, send me a meme or like message me something. What specific do you message them?
like to a girl?
Yeah, to a girl. What do you specifically message to them where you're like, I probably wouldn't send this to any other like female friends. Like she's different.
Okay, well, I mean, that really depends on the phase of like how you're trying to slide into the DMs, right? Like, obviously, there's like the beginning phase where you're just trying to build rapport, and
Yeah.
you can, so you can do that by making like friendly conversation, right? And then you can see if that conversation sticks. So like obviously, if like as a guy, you can tell if the girl is kind of like avoiding you, or if she's actually taking
Hmm.
the effort to actually respond to your messages. Because I can like, hello, so I can actually like just go and message like a random girl, but
Okay.
if the girl like doesn't like reciprocate, then that's a pretty telling sign that she's not into you. And so in turn, I'm either gonna one give up, or two, I'm going to keep pursuing it. And that leads to phase two, when you actually start like start the flirting process, and like
Okay.
asking them if they want to do stuff.
Okay, how do you feel about the way you described that? Really made me think about the concept of the nice. What are your thoughts on that? I'm sure if anyone's familiar, nice guy concept is when you befriend a girl and treat her differently than the other guy. So you're nice, you want to message them, you know them, maybe you do favors for them, and then they go around and go, "You're just such like a nice person. I don't want to lose a friendship like you. I don't want to be in a relationship." And they go, "Ah, she never goes for the nice guys, like fucking bitch." And then you stop. How do you feel about that stuff?
How do I feel about like the nice guy? Like,
Yeah, I feel like every boy has done it.
yeah,
Most of
no,
them. I'm not gonna.
no, of course. I'm not gonna pretend as if that's never passed through my head. It obviously has. Um, like for for a guy, like it feels like if you're really into them, it doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
if you do things and she doesn't reciprocate. But um, nice guys are kind of trapped in this in this it's like this cage where
Okay.
where they think that like because I'm nice to you, you have to be nice to me, and you have to like acknowledge me as a person. So I don't know. It's a difficult concept to kind of wrap my head around.
Yeah. I think every girl has experienced or been on the shit end of the stick of the whole nice guy concept. Because when you are wondering if a guy is into your eye, then we're going into, oh, most guys, what they do is like they try to first, I guess. No one, it's kind of rare that you meet guys who kind of just go full force in the DM, like, hey, like let's, because most
Right.
times they don't get a
Because
response.
if you start a conversation like that, they're just gonna ghost you.
Yeah, 100%. At least, okay, if I'm a girl and I want a guy to know that I'm into them, I think all girls know this, but it's very rare that you're gonna see a girl kind of message something like, "Hey, I really like you, and I just want you to know that." And for me, the longest thing was that I felt like I had like some sort of telepath power or something like that when if there was a guy in my class that I liked, for example. One of like a trick that most girls do is it's kind of like the stare, and it's when the guy's kind of looking around and you try to meet their eye, like you kind of get them to meet out, and then when they finally do, you kind of just you turn away and then you smile a bit, and then you just kind of turn back
Wait,
and
is this
forward,
true?
and then you
Every
can.
single girl does this?
Not every single girl, but most girls do. If you're like if you're like a girl who knows how to like I know how to make myself look like I don't know they exist at all, but
Right.
I know they exist because all I do is ever think about them. But I'm gonna pretend, oh my god, you're not even here.
So it's kind of like playing hard to get then.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then the second phase to that. Now, let's say, okay, the guy has made eye contact, maybe he smiled, but you just keep going on. The next phase then is, I'd say like more of like a social prowl, where you're gonna go on social media. It's really only a guy thing now, that you go and you start liking like maybe 3 or 4 photos in a row for them to see.
Okay.
So what a girl will maybe do is that she'll one photo and max 1 or 2 photos, but she's gonna wait till like the amount of when someone posts a photo new, she's gonna wait at least 4 to 5 hours after the photo has posted until she likes it. Because then he's gonna know he's posted a photo still, and he goes, "Oh, she liked it." Because chances are her notification then is gonna be the only one out of very few that are gonna pop up on the screen, and now he's gonna think of
What?
and
I didn't even know about this. What the heck? That's
oh
actually
yeah, yeah,
such
yeah, yeah.
that's so genius because I like if it was me, I would just like it right away.
No, no, no. It gets lost in the crowd. You gotta do
Ah.
it
No,
5 hours ish out.
but if you think about it, um like if you like it right away, like if I post a picture right now on Instagram, it's more likely that
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to like be actively monitoring like my notifications because I literally just posted it. Like you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like whereas
yeah,
if I
and
checked 5 hours later, like there's a good chance that my name might not even pop up because maybe like 3 other people liked it afterwards.
well, when you first post a photo, that's when you usually get the most consistent amount of likes. It's when we start counting, okay, I have 1 like per minute, and so then hopefully by the first hour, I'm gonna have 60 likes or something like that. And how, at least when I've talked with my girlfriends and how we talk about it, is that you never want to be the first person to like, and you definitely don't want to be one of those people who like in like the 30s. Let's say this guy's average like on his photos are 100. She's gonna want to be the one after the 100 likes or nearing there,
I feel
because
attacked.
when you like a photo after, the notification of you is just gonna be you, like 8 times out of 10.
Ah.
Best case scenario, it's going to just be you. Okay scenario, it's going to be you and 3 other people who maybe fell asleep early or didn't see your post and then liked it. And worst case scenario is always liking when everyone else starts liking. Like, oh, you posted it an hour ago. Like, yeah, I'm gonna.
Mm.
Yeah.
See, this is
And
really
then-
interesting. Like seeing like the psychology of like girls versus guys, because like I totally would not have even thought about this strategy.
Mm-hmm. And another thing is, I know a lot of people probably wonder thirst traps
Sorry, what?
and how thirst traps.
What?
Post.
What's a thirst trap?
You know when a girl posts sort of maybe it's a provocative photo or something on Instagram or Snap or never Facebook. It's either going to be Instagram or Snapchat. And it's a bit more like, it's like maybe ass on the count. It's in front of the mirror, like workout clothes.
Mm.
And usually those posts are to get certain attention from certain people. And if this is a straight girl, it's going to be from a certain 1 to 2, maybe 3 that she's really trying to get them to see within their range. So when the girl posts this photo, the timing is everything. You don't want to really post a thirst trap when the guy isn't active or online. You want to make sure that at least the guy's been active. He hasn't been active for a while, so you know when you post this, he's going to go on social media eventually, and he's going to see it.
Okay.
And yeah.
I think I know what you mean, and I can kind of relate. Like as a guy, like if I'm interested in a girl and I do my research, and I know that she's like, I don't know, maybe she's into like swimming or something. Okay, so just for example, I'm trying to get with you, and I like go through all your Facebook information and everything, and I see back in grade 4. No, I'm kidding. But I see that you're really into swimming. I'll like go out of my way to like to like either post a story or post a picture of like me like swimming or something, and then like they'll like, and that I'll like secretly hope that they kind of like respond to it. Obviously, once you've established some rapport with a girl, hopefully they'll respond to that, and then you kind of like ask them out to see if they want to go like swimming or something.
Yeah, I just got a text message from one of my friends, Will, who's watching right now, and they brought up a concept
Yep.
actually,
Okay.
and it kind of was coined in the LGBTQ plus community. I don't know if you've heard it. It's called top energy and bottom energy.
Okay.
Okay, so top and bottoms are originally used for when you have 2 partners and one is dominant and one is dominant is top and submissive is bottom. And way back when you would ask like your gay friend, and you're like, are you top or bottom? That usually meant, are you the guy who goes on top, or are you the guy who kind of bends down on the bottom?
Yeah.
And now we kind of use top energy and bottom energy for a lot of flirtationships and relationships that we're in. So what I just described to you as like, some girls like me would do, like just kind of looking or waiting to like afterwards, that's what we call bottom energy. That means she plays coy, but she knows what's up. And she's probably never going to really make the first move. They're not going to really want to make any big decisions. Top energy now is kind of what you described, where you're like, I'm going to message her. I just want to get to know her. Then maybe ask if she wants to hang out or something. And that's called top energy. An example of bottom energy is a girl who listens to Lana Del Rey. And a girl who listens to Drake maybe too. And and top energy is probably someone who listens to, let me think. What's an artist that a top energy to? Probably Rico Nasty, Summer Walker. I don't know if you've heard of
Nope.
A bit more.
One Direction, says Emily.
Yeah, One Direction. Top energy is totally One Direction. She's so right.
No,
top energy
it's
like
the opposite, right?
Energy. No. Girls who listen to One Direction have never been shy. They're the loudest people I've ever heard.
So
Or
you're saying
Kanye
that
West. That's kind of top energy.
okay. Huh. That's interesting to to hear that the music has like a kind of thing. Um
Yeah.
okay. Well, let's move on to the next question here. Um
Okay.
so homie in the chat asks, how do you get out of the friend zone?
Wow, this question.
This is not a question that I can answer myself because it's usually the guy that's in the friend zone. It's not usually the girl.
Here's the thing. If you find yourself in the friend zone, that's your fault to begin with. You took yourself into the friend zone in the beginning. Why? Because you had bottom energy. And bottom energy is
You better be
were
listening
not
to
forward.
One Direction instead of fucking Drake.
You have put yourself there because you were not as forward with your feelings in the first place. For some reason, a lot of guys kind of go, you know what? Like, my first move with a girl is just going to befriend them. And when you're at like a certain age, like how old we are now, that's a stupid idea. If you want to be dating someone by like the next month, or like you're just this lonely boy, the first thing you have to do is not get yourself into the friend zone. But let's say you got yourself into the friend zone. You're dumb. You got yourself into the friend zone, and now you feel a bit of a doormat. Is how most people feel.
Sorry,
Like
what did you
when
say?
they're
You feel
a
like a
doormat.
doormat? Oh, okay, yeah.
A doormat. You feel like you're being walked over by this particular person because you want to be paid back for all your commitment to this sort of relationship or all these things you're doing for
So
her.
this kind of sounds like you're all wrapping it all back together with the nice guy mentality.
It can be a bit of the nice guy mentality, but some people who are in the friend zone though aren't like total like, oh, I'm just such a nice guy about it. I personally don't think I've ever too stuck in the friend zone. I have found myself in the friend zone when I was in high school. What I would do is just make them, and if they reject it, just go, oh, okay, and maybe cry about it for a day, and then just move on. But the last time I was in a friend zone, I was, I had met this guy while traveling, and I was in high school. We decided to backpack Europe together, and I thought we were a bit more than friends. But when we got there, I slowly realized that I was 100% just a homie while he was swiping through Tinder, like checking out all the European chicks. And I'm like, wait, I'm confused now. So what I did was, I'm like, okay, I can't go through this whole trip now while we go through Europe and just be like, I guess we're friends. I don't really want to approach it. So I kind of mustered up the courage after the second week to kind of just be like, we were out dancing, and I was like, I'm kind of into you. I'm gonna kiss you, and then we kissed. And after that, he's like, yeah, that didn't really feel right. And I was like, okay, that's fair. If it doesn't feel right to you, then it'll never really feel right. And then we just had to move on from there. And now we're still good friends, but the friendship was such a big difference from what it was before I confessed my feelings. And that's the suckiest part sometimes. But that's just how it is.
Are you more so like referring to like the awkwardness and the tension like beforehand?
Not so much awkwardness and tension. It's just that when you aren't romantically invested in a person, because it doesn't have to be two ways. There's many times where people spend months or years just themselves romantically invested into another person who maybe won't reciprocate those feelings. Mm-hmm. But you still feel like, okay, this is kind of a friendship though, and I still feel very deeply about this person. I can love my friends, like I can do this. And then when you try to see if they can, give back the same amount of energy and maybe love, and they just go, it just doesn't feel right to me. I thought we were only just friends. Then after that flips over and you go, okay, we'll just remain friends. The friendship's not going to be the same as it was before.
Yeah,
because sure. 50% of the friendship was romantically powered. It was powered by a motor that was mainly running on a fantasy of a relationship. And now that that fantasy has been crushed and that person had time to recover, and you go, okay, let's continue this friendship, it's going to be different. Maybe it'll be better. Maybe it just won't be the same. Maybe it'll be worse. But it's a friend zone thing right now. It's not even a friendship. It's a zone where one person thinks it's a friendship and the other person thinks more.
Okay, so let me summarize exactly what you said. Guys,
Yeah.
If you think you're in the friend zone, wake the fuck up and take yourself out there. Take 1 day or 2 days just to fucking wake yourself up and get yourself out of the friend zone. Did I sum that up pretty good?
Yeah, and get out of the friend zone. And the last part is just the repercussions of it. And the repercussions of it, and it's going to happen eventually. So don't try to put it off and be like, I just really want to keep what we have. It's going to happen eventually. It's going to be the same amount of whether you do it right now or if you do it a year from now. And know that it's not a friend zone. Take away the word and the concept friend and just call it the shit zone. You're in a shit zone right now. And you either get yourself out of it now or tomorrow. And if she likes you back, oh my god, like yes, and it's just going to flourish from there. If she goes, I don't really feel it, just be like, cool, I'm still going to be in your life. I know it's not going to be the same anymore though, because I was kind of riding on this fantasy of, oh, we're going to date, we're going to have kids, they're going to be so cute.
Well,
not it.
Well, I mean, let me pitch in my own 2 cents here, because if you're really meant to be, you'll be together. And if you're not meant to be, there's no point in fucking wasting your own time just thinking, oh, I think we're gonna be perfect for each other. I've been such a nice guy, you know, I'm gonna buy her dinner. Like, you can buy her dinner, but buy her dinner as a friend. Don't buy her dinner expecting something and like making a deal out of nothing. Because like you said, it's a one-sided relationship.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. When you buy your friend dinner, it's 10 times more different than a friend who has a crush on this other person trying to buy them. It's just never going to translate the same way. So save your wallet, save the gas in your car. If she goes, hey, can you fucking drive me to this one place? We're like best buds, and you're like, yes, maybe this ride she's gonna confess her love to me. No, she's not. Fucking tell her, hey, take the SkyTrain transit and meet at a mall.
Take the SkyTrain. Yeah, no, I can see what you mean. Okay. Next question. This is kind of related to that same old friend zone question.
Yeah.
Homie in the chat asks, how do you know if he or she is just being friendly? Because, I mean, you could kind of, like, take our previous example where it's like, hey, I'm just going to buy my friend dinner.
This is different. Yeah. How do you even know, like, in the beginning when you're just talking to someone if they're just being friendly? I would say, Gordon, you go ahead.
Yeah, so I would say you need to, like, know if the guy is just a friendly person in general, or if he's just friendly to girls and specific girls, right? Like,
yeah, that's very key. You got to know what kind of person they are first. Yeah.
Yeah, like me, like I'll give rides to literally anyone. Like I'll give rides to guys, I'll give rides to girls. I'm literally a taxi service. So me giving a ride to someone doesn't actually mean anything. That's just me being friendly. Same thing with buying someone dinner. Like it's fine. Like, just get me back later. It's whatever. Whereas, like, you'll see these guys that literally just go and give people rides because they want to get the pussy.
Yeah, 100%. To me, it's quite easy, at least for a girl, to spot whether or not a guy is being friendly or not, because most guys, not all of them, are a bit more forward with it. Instead of saying, like, you want to hang out, it's going to be, do you want to hang out? Guys have a different inflection in the way they type and the way they talk when they want to, get with you.
With fucking, like, winky faces and shit? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, maybe like that. It could be like that, or just the amount of times they ask. For guys, at least what I've noticed, they're not texting their homies and going, "Hey, like, how was your day today? Was it hard? Let's talk about it." Most guys aren't doing that with their homies on a daily basis.
I've literally never done that to a friend before.
Exactly, but you've probably done that to a girl that kind of
Yeah,
tickled your fancies, right?
100%. Like it's just so
Mm-hmm.
different. Like just the context. But
Yeah.
as a girl,
Now,
like how do I tell if a girl is just being friendly now? Because I think it's a little different because I feel like girls are just more friendly in general versus guys.
yeah, and girls have this. I'm not gonna say it's a horrible thing, but it's a bit of a cursed thing when girls. Oh, he's like a brother to me. That you
It's like
might
a
as well
brother
kick the
zone.
guy in like the balls, you know? Like don't ever unless he's literally like a brother to you and you were born from the same womb. It's like it's not now when a girl is being friendly with you, most of the times when she's going to start saying haha a lot in her messages when she sends them to you. And it's not because she genuinely finds what you're saying funny. For example, let's say a guy goes, "Oh yeah, but like you know, you're a great person and like any guy's lucky to have you." She's probably gonna go. She's
Haha.
not gonna go, "Oh my god, that's so sweet, thank you so much." She's gonna go, "Haha, thanks."
But on the same vein, wouldn't some girl that's like trying to end the conversation also say haha?
Yeah, if she's trying to end a certain conversation, it probably means that a girl is sensing that it's treading over from a friendship to, ooh, I have this tingly sixth sense, and all girls have this sixth sense. I think he wants more than a friendship. So instead of blatantly going out and saying, "Oh, I'm not into you," like that, because that's an awkward conversation to have, and maybe we're jumping the gun, maybe we're a bit full of ourselves. So instead, you just kind of want to end the conversation right there. So start looking back at your old chat with someone who you can't tell was being friendly or flirting and going, every time there was a conversation that kind of treaded away from being homies and started going to, I'm trying to flirt a bit, see how quickly she tries to shut down that
Mm.
talk. And if you see consistently that she kind of gives you not the greatest responses or something, she's trying to be friendly and turning you down.
That's that's really good to kind of know because as guys, it's like fuck if she's saying haha, she's into me.
I'm fucking hilarious. Girls love funny.
Yeah, I'm fucking hilarious. I'm on fire. I'm gonna keep making the same exact jokes. Um, all right, on to the next question. Another homie in the chat asks, "How do you move on from relationships, romantically, or even friendly relationships?"
Yeah. Okay. That's a good question.
Yeah,
I just ended a 8 month relationship perhaps a month ago.
one from
Um
Hawaii or what?
yeah, yeah. I was seeing this guy when I was working in for a few months. And I'll say he's probably like my first love. I was after about 4 months, I was ready to start a family, settle down, both of us get like a good like 9 to 5 job, and just perfect. But it ended, and I'd say the way I dealt with the break was that once we ended things, I went through like a few stages. The first one was obvious stage. My horoscope sign, that's the bull. So I was like very aggressive. I messaged his mom. I
Oh my
messaged his
god.
mom and I said it was a pleasure getting to know you. Like best wishes and the very passive aggressive. And then I sent back his stuff to him. I spent like probably like $10 on shipping from Canada to Hawaii, and I sent him his stuff, but they were like all ripped up and I'm like you cannot recognize because I was just so angry. And then finally, I stopped talking for like 2 weeks, and then messaged him again and kind of went, "Sorry, I sort of went a bit weird and
Freaked out a
crazy
little
there,
bit.
freaked out a little bit." And I say the best way that I got over that relationship was from my friend group and my just all my buddies that I had
Mm-hmm.
to make me realize that your the affection and the love that you crave from another human being isn't solely found in a romantic partner, and the security you want isn't only from this other person. And that's one thing we really forget when we are in a relationship, because this person is kind of like a ride or die there for a while, where you can depend on them for a lot of things. They're there for you emotionally. Most friends maybe won't be able to support you with there, and maybe you guys have like the best sex ever or something. So you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not gonna get that back again. End the relationship. But the things that you wanted so badly from that one partner or that one other person, try giving it to yourself for a change without depending on them. And you'll slowly realize that um, the breakup wasn't the worst thing in the world. And you learned a lot from it. But the most important thing that you learned from is that that person taught you how to feel certain things, or like it opened your eyes to a lot of different emotions and feelings that you didn't think you were capable of. And then when they sort of disappeared and kind of broke your life, that's when you realize that first you're gonna panic. You're like, how will I ever chase this feeling back? But then later on, I gave myself these feelings and I didn't give them to myself again. And that's the one thing. Breakups are hard. They're never easy. You're gonna do a lot of weird, like message their mom or like cut their photos out of all your things.
Wait, you literally cut their photos?
Here's a great story. I promise I'm not a crazy emotional person, but for Christmas he had gotten me a deck of cards. So that's 51, 52 cards, and the cover was a photo of us in front of a waterfall, and it was really cute. And then when we broke up, I spent perhaps an hour with
Just
a
cutting the
scalpel
shit?
and scissors, and I cut myself out of all the photos.
So it was
all
just
the cards-
him. Did you
It
send?
was just him
And
smiling.
so did you end up just like sending him like the deck of cards without your face on it, or what?
Without my whole body in it, so he just looked like a goofy ass guy standing beside a blank space with the biggest smile on his face. And I sent the deck of cards back to him, and I kept those little cutouts of myself, hide around the apartment.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you see, we all get over breakups in weird ways, and they're all gonna make great stories within like a month of like however much time you heal from it. And he thought he hated it at first, but he thought it was funny eventually and everything. So get over it however the way you feel like you need to. My favorite thing is getting a bit arts and craft about it, because you're physically taking yourself out of the situation, and it's a pretty nice feeling.
See, we're very different people here, because
Okay.
you seem to like kind of like do a lot of stuff externally by like messaging people, throwing shit away, shipping it back to them half broken, whereas I like to like internalize it. And like
Okay.
so what I mean by internalize it is that I literally keep everything like to myself. And
Mhm.
like yes, I'll cry a little bit, but for the most part, like you won't really see me as a different person, like from day to days, like you will not notice that I'm any different. Like I'm not going to be ruining anything. I'm not going to do anything. And the only way that I can really feel that feeling is by like playing music. And it's a weird thing, but like I'll like find like these like songs that like I've always liked, but I never really understood the essence of that song until I fucking like go through a breakup.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, holy
Hits
shit,
differently.
I'm
Yeah.
holding on the rope. Got me 10
Got
feet
me
off the
10
ground.
feet
I'm
off
like,
the
holy
ground.
shit. One Republic. Okay, here's a question from my good pal Henry. Do you guys ever
Henry.
keep old gifts from an ex?
Yeah.
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 Yes, but
They're
like,
mine. You gave.
what do you mean? You literally shipped it back to him. No, but
No. He gave me earrings. I'm wearing some right now. He gave me earrings. I'm not shipping that shit back to him.
yeah, that
Nor
shit's
am I
fucking good
planning it
stuff.
back.
Why would I ship that?
It was a present to me. I'm keeping it.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it really depends on what it is, right? If if it's
Yeah.
like a picture, then probably not gonna keep
Yeah.
it. But
Fuck the picture. If you're keeping pictures, and I don't mean like on your iPhone camera, if
Yeah.
you're keeping like literal printed frame photos, that's like kind of gay, and you gotta stop, bro. Like, don't do that. It's
Yeah.
broken up. It's over. But
Yeah,
if it's
I
just
mean-
like a gift,
yeah, if it's like a small little monument or something, like a bracelet or like I don't know, like like a
Mhm.
watch or something, yeah, keep it. I mean, that literally has like value. Like it doesn't need to mean anything to you anymore. And even if it does mean something to you, you can think about the good times and just go with the flow, right?
Mhm.
Like I have like so many like cups that other people have given me, and I'm just whatever.
Yeah, you love cups and mugs.
Wow, the G.
The A. I think the worst thing, not the worst thing, but the most interesting thing some of my friends do is, especially if they have a particular partner who is actually spoiled with gifts. So it wasn't just one or two very often. It was a consistent amount of teddy bears, necklace, shirts or clothes or whatever. And if it's really that hard for you to detach that sort of like sadness now that you feel to those gifts, if you really can't like hold something and be like, wow, those were good times, and instead go, oh, this time it's making my heart hurt so much, instead of throwing it away, keep it in a box somewhere that's kind of out of your sight for a while. And I guarantee you, in maybe a few months or a year, and you open that box up again, you will be able to use those things or wear those things without the feeling of like you're wearing like a dead person. Like you're like, oh, these are just things that I have. They're just things. They're just material. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next question. Homie in the chat asks, what do you do if your partner is too controlling or if the relationship overall is toxic but you still love them?
Okay, that's a very good question.
That's a really
and
good question.
a very relatable one. Yeah. You go ahead.
Well, I never said that it was relatable, but I mean,
okay. I get that.
I mean, personally, I don't really have as much intel on this because.
All right. I'll share.
Okay, go
ahead. What you're talking about is there's 3 different kinds of attachment theories, right? This is like every first year psychology student.
Wow.
And I'm not even in psychology. I just sat in a class one time and I heard about this, and it really made sense all of a sudden. So you have 3 different types. You have secure attachment, you have anxious attachment, and there's a third one. I forgot what it's called, but those 2 are the only ones. And everyone kind of wants secure attachment, and secure attachment means that both people feel not only secure in their own identity, but enough to know that their involvement in the other person's life can really only reach maybe 50%, maybe around there. 50 to 60% is your involvement in someone else's life when you're in a relationship. Now, anxious attachment is when the partner now becomes a bit more overbearing. And I'm someone who's shown a consistency of maybe my time periods of anxious attachment. And this can either come from because of, how their parents treated them, if they weren't around much or whatever. And the most important thing to remember when your partner becomes a bit too controlling or overbearing is not because they genuinely want to control everything and they want to hold the power in the relationship. It's because they are feeling what I like to call relationship anxiety. And it usually comes up right after the honeymoon phase. And relationship anxiety is the feeling of the security they once felt while they're in a relationship. It feels like it's slipping. And they don't know how to get it back. And because for them, the most secure thing for the other person person, they're going to want to pour all their energy trying to grasp and trying to grab at what they think now is their new security, which is this new person. And that's never the case. And a lot of times this can now like leak into a toxic relationship where you have someone who's being a bit more verbally abusive, hopefully not physically abusive, only because they want to control a person. But most of the times, the more, temperate things just comes from a deep sense of anxiety from this other person that really scares you. And the best thing you can do about this is what my ex-boyfriend and I did to get over this for a while was that we decided to each take a day or two. We didn't need to talk much and define what our definition of a good and loving relationship was without, talking to the other person. You just write down what you want. It could be a few sentences. It could be a paragraph. It could be a novel. It doesn't matter. But just kind of write down what you think is the definition of a healthy and loving relationship. And then send this to the other person and give the other person time to read it. Do not right after sending it go, okay, let's talk. What do you think? Give yourself a few hours or maybe a day to really read, reread, and look at the key points that what your partner has said. And what their definition isn't wrong. Your job isn't to critique them of saying, like, I don't think it's the right thing. Once you read the other person's definition, you're going to be able to understand them a lot more, especially because they wrote this on their own. I don't usually like to talk when we do this exercise because when you talk to the person face to face, your judgment becomes really clouded. The best thing is to write it and then to just send it to the other person. And then you will be able to see, okay, I see where this person's anxiety is coming from. And this person will see what your definition is of and how maybe I was being a bit too controlling. And it's going to be small exercises like that, maybe once or twice a month when things start getting a bit heated and you just want to throw in the towel. You want to be able to create your own definitions of love, your own definition of relationship, your own definition of what a good connection is. And to me, that's sort of a good key in helping to overcome another partner's insecurity or anxiety in relationships. Because relationships bring out the worst in people.
Yeah.
And it makes them really scared. And yeah, that's my advice.
Yeah, no, that's some really good advice. And if I'm grasping what you were saying properly, you were saying that that this kind of toxicity stems from after the toxicity / insecurity stems from after the honeymoon phase. Do you think that's because, like, after the honeymoon phase, they start developing other hobbies and it's not just that one person anymore, and whereas the other person still has this expectation that the honeymoon phase isn't over yet? Like, is that where it stems from, or?
That's a good thing to point out, actually. The idea of maybe one person is still in the honeymoon phase and the other person is ready to be a bit more realistic with the relationship.
Right.
And to define a honeymoon phase for people, because everyone has a different definition of it, but I'd say the umbrella term of a honeymoon phase is the thrill of being able to chase and court a person without the thoughts of real life responsibility. Because a honeymoon phase usually lasts maybe 2-3 months. And that's a very short period of time. And that's when you fall quite the hardest for people during that honeymoon phase. And now we can see that maybe someone is moving on the honeymoon phase and going, okay, I want to get more realistic. Like, are we really gonna pursue this long term? How do you really feel future for this? And the one thing you're gonna get from a lot of people still in the honeymoon phase, or still they feel maybe the other person is being a bit too controlling or a bit too aggressive when they ask these questions. But the other person probably just wants to be like, oh, I just want to live in the moment, where this takes us. Like, let's not put a label on it. Let's not put rules on it, And that's why in our generation now, a lot of people are really scared to use the term "she's my boyfriend," "he's my boyfriend and girlfriend,"
Yeah.
or like "that's my partner." People are really scared to use that, and they kind of just like, "Oh, they're like my friend. I kind of talk." And
Meanwhile, they're fucking
that's why
shagging, like up the butthole
exactly
and shit.
they're banging, they're rimming, they're pegging, they're like
You know,
exchanging
she's just
sweet
my friend. No
nothing.
worries. Yeah.
Exactly. So when another person starts moving on, it doesn't mean the relationship is. It just means that now two people who are moving at the same pace very quickly for a period of time are now moving at two different paces.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you guys are going on different road paths or anything. It just means, oh, okay, one person is maybe skipping and the other person is now at a. And the only way you can get over that is being able to understand the individuality that's in a relationship and realizing that if you took yourself out of the situation, you said, okay, let's say my best friend is at a fast jog right now, and I would consider myself at like a good. I would never, go to my friend and go, "Hey, slow down for me. I can't catch up."
Yeah.
You would never do that to someone who you hold as a valuable individual in your life. But because you're in a relationship now and you've got another, you're like, they're not my friend, so I want them to be walking with me. I don't want them to suddenly start jogging ahead. You have to accept the fact that we're individuals, and if you are willing to be able to have that person jog every so often, and you are not being able to run with them for periods of time, then that's when you have a good relationship. And accept that, okay, maybe next year or in a few months I'm gonna be at a sprint and this person will maybe be at a walk now, and it's okay because there's gonna be a water break at some point. We're gonna meet in the middle.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, and it's just understanding that, and it's different for every single person. I mean, you have people who you can literally see are like just attached to the person, and they're ready to like sprint, just like you said. Like you're ready to like make a family, right?
Yeah, 100%. I was ready to get pregnant by 21.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to note that it's different, like your honeymoon phase with someone is going to be different than with someone else, so it's always going to be different, and you have to just understand that. Everyone has different speeds. Okay.
Everyone has a different speed and a different definition.
There you go. Yeah. So a brother asked in the chat, how do you stop yourself from letting past experiences, good or bad, affect a relationship you might be involved in now? That's a really good question, because I think this all stems back to the grade 7 relationship with Waniel.
Yeah.
And that really does like kind of define how you perceive love and how you protect yourself from it, because obviously your first heartbreak is always going to like define how you perceive threat. So let's say, for example, your first boyfriend cheated on you, right? You're always going to have that scar of is this guy going to cheat on me, right? It's always going to be there. People can battle through it, but I feel like the first time is always something that keeps a scar. But what do you think?
We're all humans. So, for example, when we put our finger on a stove and it burns us, chances are we're not going to do it again. Like I wonder if this is again. And a lot of people perceive that notion of I was hurt once, I'm not going to be hurt again, with relationships and with the people see. And one of the biggest things that you touched base on was cheating. And now people have developed trust issues, and it's a huge thing in our generation now to have trust issues. Drake wrote like 2 songs about it. So it's like it's something that a lot of people think is going to be now a common point of okay, my next boyfriend, I be careful that, he's not going to cheat on me again. I have to remember to check his Snapchats now or check his Instagram DMs, because that's how it was burned the last time. I wasn't vigilant enough. And it's a hard thing to get over. And it's a very hard thing when a past relationship or a past flirtationship has made you insecure at a certain feeling in yourself. Maybe it's your looks, maybe it's an emotional thing, maybe it's your intelligence. And it's all going to be different, and people treat everyone different. And the one thing that I always have to remind myself when I go into a new relationship is understanding that I never forget what another person has done to me, especially if you're like a tourist or anything. You don't forget what someone does, but it doesn't mean that you can't forgive what has happened to you. Because if you hold on to that pain of a bad relationship or a bad break, and you go like, I don't want to feel that again, then there's no point of being human. The point of being human is being able to feel a huge capacity of emotions. And when you're not willing to feel that hurt or feeling in another person, because it's going to be different, but this next person, even if they're going to hurt you in some sort of way, just like how you're going to hurt them. And if you're not ready to feel that hurt again, yeah. Mom! Mom?
Mom? Mom's asking if I want to eat. Sorry, I didn't hear you for the last little bit there, but
Oh, I'm just saying, I'll summarize it in the fact that when you feel like you're too scared to get in a new relationship again, you're probably not ready for a relationship in general. And you probably need to heal from the past a bit more. Because even if this new person is going to marry you and you guys are going to have children and die together, that person is still going to hurt you in some sort of way, just like how you're going to hurt them.
Yeah.
So if you are too crippled by fear to even have a clear head and open arms with a relationship, that just means you need a bit more time, and that's okay. And to be able to get over that with your time, what Gordon does is a great thing. Pouring something into a hobby, being able to write songs, sing songs, draw, go to the gym a lot, work on your physical and mental health. That's going to do absolute wonders for you when entering the next relationship. And if you're encountered right now, let's say in real time, there's someone ability for you to start dating, but you still feel those fears coming up and translating into how you guys talk and things like that, that person will be there, even if they date someone else or whatever, or you're going to find another person eventually. But there's no point of going into a relationship when you are so crippled by your past that you think that, oh, I don't even know if I can make it right now because that person did this to me before. You just have to recover on your own terms.
Yeah. And it's important to know that, like, why are you holding this new person accountable for something that they didn't even do? It's not like...
Exactly.
I mean, if they have a history of cheating, then of course, okay, maybe you have some fears, right? But if it's literally someone that's like, hey, like, I didn't do anything, like, why are you mad at me? Then, like, you shouldn't hold them accountable for it. Like, it sucks for everyone.
Yeah, 100%. And the hardest thing that a lot of us do is that not only this new person accountable, sometimes we tend to hold an entire gender or an entire race or an entire age group accountable for this one mistake, this old part. So, for example, let's say a guy cheated on me. I go, all guys are scum. If you have a penis, you're a scum, you're the worst, and you're just going to... Now, that's just your hurt from the last person. It's not the entire genders that this happened. And if you find yourself blaming people who have the same physical or emotional characteristics as this other person, you have to take a step back now and think, okay, I'm projecting.
Yeah.
It's just because the last guy dated had black hair and now this guy also has black hair doesn't mean that he's going to take my heart and staunch it.
But I mean, I also think it's also very much like alienating the other, right? It's like you can see the exact same things, not even just in relationships. I mean, you obviously see this in relationships, but you also see this just in normal life. I mean, you see Americans trying to alienate, Asian people and say that they all have coronavirus, right? So like it's kind of human nature to kind of generalize a specific race, or you know.
But our generation is better than that now.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the old generation's problem. We can't get caught in the old habit of seeing if you have dark skin or if you have small eyes that you are responsible for this, or your DNA means you're violent, or your DNA means that you're a sick person will
Yeah.
cough on me and kill me. It's just it's such an old thing to do, and we shouldn't even give it the time of day. Like, we know better than that.
Yeah.
We're at an age where we know better than that. We're in a generation, we have the technology, the internet, all the information in the world to know that we're better.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's move on to the next question here. This is kind of, I would say, related to a lot of the previous questions. And so the homie clicks asks, how do you deal with jealousy?
It's a really good one. That's my favorite one so far, I think.
How do you deal with jealousy? Like.
Well, okay, let me ask you something, Gordon.
On.
Are you okay? Okay, yeah.
Oh, I think I was literally gonna ask you the same question, but are you the jealous type? Because I am.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that. You're yourself a jealous person in general.
No, 100%. No, I am. I will admit it myself. Like, I'm probably the most jealous person in the fucking world.
Yeah, me too. And you'll find that at least from some studies that I've seen, and by studies I just mean experience, the youngest sibling in a family is a jealous person in general. They're a bit more inherently jealous.
Yeah, I can see
a
that.
lot of things. So, to figure out to know if you're the jealous type, it does not mean to look back at all your old relationships and value them. Look back at your relationship to life in general and see how jealous you get at other people's success or at other people's things that they have. And then think to yourself, am I just a jealous person in general? Because there's a difference between a very jealous partner and just a very jealous person.
Yeah, and to kind of build on top of like jealousy, like I think within a relationship, you always need to put up those boundaries. So like if it's literally just me talking with another friend, please do not be jealous that I'm talking to the friend. They're literally just a friend. Like you need to set up these boundaries for jealousy. Yeah.
For myself, I am someone who gets very in a relationship, and I am someone who gets so jealous that I start to make rules for the other. And now we're going back into our old question, right? If someone's being too overbearing, too aggressive with how they want to control someone. But in my old relationship, what I once did was, my ex had a girl that he would still work with, but they had a bit of a relationship a year ago before he even knew I existed. But that to me was enough for me to go, I know you guys work in the same area together, but my rule is you're just not allowed to talk to her. I don't want you to be friends with her. I don't want you to talk to her. I don't want you to message her, send her memes or Snapchat. And he kind of went like, I don't really want to do that. That's kind of weird. It's a small place where we work. It's going to obviously cause some sort of weird like environment. And I did the worst thing a partner could do. And I gave an ultimatum. And I said, if you want to be friends with her, you can forget the relationship then. So he stopped being friends with her. And it's not my proudest moment because it didn't really change anything. Because then I found something else to be jealous about. And maybe it wasn't an ex-girlfriend, it was, you spend too much time at work. Stop going to work so much. And like, you know, you don't need to do all this stuff. And that's when you realize that, okay, I now realize that I'm in a relationship. So not only am I a jealous person, I'm a jealous partner. And the one way that I found that I was able to fix it before our relationship went downhill, I was able to kind of step back and go, okay, this isn't healthy. I'm being quite toxic to this other person right now, and that's not fair. Is whenever you feel yourself getting a bit jealous of the other person, do not express it right away. Don't kind of go from my head to my mouth, I'm going to tell you. start to build a filter for yourself and maybe write it down on your notes on your phone, or even just keep like a mental thing of, I'm jealous about this, 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 and this. And once you write those things down, slowly be able to define, why am I jealous?
Mm-hmm.
Not involving the other person, just
Yeah.
about me. Why am I so jealous that he has this male friend? And it kind of goes down to, because I'm scared he's going to cheat on me. And then that's going to branch out into, I'm kind of an insecure person though, because the last guy I dated was not very fair. And then that's when you kind of realize, oh, I'm projecting something from the past onto this new person who has nothing to do with this person at all.
Yeah. And I also think that really ties back into with our previous question, whereas like how do you kind of filter with the past and shit. And so I think something of keynote is that in terms of jealousy, like you need to think about it, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Is it just me projecting this upon the person because of previous relationships or previous experiences, or is this a legitimate threat, right?
Yeah.
Like it could be like this guy's literally actually flirting with another person, and if that's the case, then yeah, absolutely, you should be jealous. Sorry, you should be jealous because it is like a mate retention strategy. That's why we feel jealousy. And then number two is there is this this theory where if a human doesn't have anything to worry about, they will always make an excuse for something to be worried about. So you see this a lot with old people. Why do they care about so much shit? It's because they don't have any worries. They don't have to work. They don't have to worry about money. They don't have to worry about anything else. The only thing that they can worry about in their head is, you know, these young millennials doing random shit.
Mm-hmm. That's very true, actually. Is when you find realizing that the most jealous people are usually the ones that probably don't have enough responsibility or things to do.
Exactly, because why do you want to spend all your energy and effort to like be jealous if it's not like a real jealous like if it's not like a real issue, you shouldn't even be spending your time on it.
Whereas that's my favorite response to that question. To summarize, if you're a jealous person, pick up something new, pick up a book or something, and you'll probably
there you go. It's just millennial issues there. All right, do we have any other questions? No. All right. So I don't see any questions right now, but let me ask you a question.
Okay.
As a female, what's your mentality going into like Tinder or like Bumble or something?
Okay. I've been banned from Tinder 3 times, so I can't make an account. I have a great relationship with Tinder when I was in high school, because when I was 16, I made my first Tinder account, and I was on it for about a year, and then they realized that I was 16 when I made the account, so they took it down. So then I made a new Facebook, and then I made a new Tinder when I was going into university, and then they found out that I was still the same kid, even though I'm 18 now. I was still the 16-year-old who made that Tinder bio. So then they took me down again. So in the third one, I sort of changed my name up a bit, and my middle name instead of my last name, and I was like, okay, they can't take Tinder now, and I used that. But then I ghosted a few frat guys. I ghosted 2 frat guys, but they're from the same house. So then I think more than 10 people from that house reported me for just some BS reason. So then my account got taken down.
So they were just butthurt, right?
Yeah, they were just butthurt. But my first Tinder date was when I was 16. And it was with this guy who liked EDM music. And I didn't even like him that much. I just wanted to go on a date. Because none of the high school boys liked me. But I was a huge hit on Tinder.
I mean, to be fair, you had one side of your head shaved bald, so...
That was the wrong year. I didn't have to when I was 8.
Yeah,
this
but
was
but they
grade
look
11.
back up onto the yearbook and they're like, "Who the fuck is this? Fucking head was half shaved." That was grade 9, right?
But yeah, I think Tinder. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think dating apps are that good.
Mm.
Obviously, there's some that are like, people are genuinely trying to use it, link with someone in their own community. So
Yeah.
let's say dating apps curated for transgender people or for people of certain religions, stuff like that, like Christian Mingle or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Those kind of apps are helping you, like, narrow down out of all the people you see and go, oh, these people have the same belief as me. I know I'm going to get along with them and extent.
Mhm.
But things like Tinder, the one thing I realized for me that I had to relearn because I had Tinder at such a young age is that it desensitized me to the idea of relationship. And it wasn't until these recent years that I actually learned what a healthy relationship is. Because Tinder is starting ground, in my opinion, of just it's more of a casual sex app sort of a thing. And I was never someone who did casual sex in general. You just love the idea of Tinder because you get the attention from it. There is like a great feeling when you're just kind of going about your day. You're like, it's been an okay day. You go, someone super liked me. Someone here within a 10-mile vicinity
Never
went,
happened for me.
wow, she's not only hot, she's really hot. And then they swiped up, So I think we use social media apps to help boost steam and to help us know what kind of groups of people are attracted to you, what certain types, what certain characteristics of people are into. And that was kind of eye-opening for me. I kind of understood that, okay, football players like me, or like guys who do art like me or whatever.
Wait. But when you had Tinder, did you swipe right on every single person, or did you only swipe right for your specific type?
Never. I think I swiped right every 100 left swipes, and that's not even exaggerated.
But then that doesn't mean that football guys are into you. It's also because you're selectively choosing the football guys.
No, it's because they were the ones that super like the most. So when people super like you, it's gonna tell you who right away, right? So I gathered a lot of my data. A lot of people, I don't know, but they did.
So
and
what
I said a lot of people super liked me when I was on Tinder, and it was probably because I was much younger. I was not of legal age, so that was probably a big telltale. And I stopped trying to make Tinder accounts. I was also on Bumble. I was on Hinge for a while too. So I've been around the dating apps, and
yeah.
I stopped doing all dating apps when I finished my first year of university, because you sort of realize how disappointing the dating apps set you up to feel. A Tinder date or being able to flirt with someone on the Tinder chat kind of sets you up for disappointment, or sets you up for a very jaded outlook on a romantic partner. And
yeah, I think you put it really well there, because did you hear about the story where I got catfished?
Yeah. That's what,
yeah, like that shit. I was so disappointed from that one date. I was like, fuck, this is literally the worst thing in the world. And it's just so awkward that, fuck, never again.
Yeah, 100%. Not only are they usually not how they communicate online or look online, even if they do sort of go oh, you kind of match up and you guys talk for a bit, I guarantee you in 1 week you're going to feel nothing for that person. And you're not only going to be embarrassed that you met them on Tinder, you're going to feel a bit awkward about it because, okay, now you guys follow each other on Instagram, and I don't even want to talk to them anymore, but they're still commenting on my shit, and I want them to stop.
Yeah.
Tinder links your social media too easily to other people.
Yeah.
And it's a breeding ground for a type of casual sex. I'm not frowning down on casual sex. Do what you want as long as it's safe and you're using protection. But you now don't have a respect that sex should have, I think. I think sex is very, it's something that, you know, you're like, I want to connect with you, you know? Oh.
Physically and literally.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love you into my body. But if you're just doing that only because someone used their finger and went, yup, like that, now that's gonna set you up to have a very weird relationship when it comes to dating. And I'm seeing a lot of my friends in my, you can get Tinder when you're 18. They've had it now for like 3 years, and you now see the after effects. And I guarantee you, ask any of your friends right now, using dating apps for more than 2 years, you are now seeing the after effects of what happened when you flirt with so many people, or you're so over stimulated with so many different potential partners or so many different, it takes a toll on you as someone who now kind of gets lost in what you want or how you go get it.
See, you have a very unique problem in that you had lots of matches. See, us guys, I'm not saying myself, but we don't really get much matches. So like every single time you see that red flame on your phone, you're like, holy shit! Oh my god, I'm gonna message him right now.
It rushes all these endorphins into your brain that make you feel like you just like shot heroin into your veins.
Okay, so there's a question from Kino Queen Joaquin. Are there apps or features on dating apps that encourage relationships that aren't short term? Because from the outside, it doesn't seem like it.
The more detailed the apps you explore go, those are the ones that are probably the ones that set you up for more of a long-term relationship.
Like Plenty of Fish? Or yeah.
Plenty of Fish, Hinge. These two are applications that go into a lot more detail than just picking 5 in a box. These are ones that go like, what do you do? What's your job? What's your favorite thing to do? What are your beliefs and things? And it doesn't get too like political thing, but it helps align you and sets you up with a group of people that you could not only get along with in a conversational sense, but also in an emotional, I think, too. I've used Hinge before, and I don't think I've gone out on any dates with people, but I'm still friends with, I think, 1 or 2 of the people I met on Hinge, only because we got along so well because how the database was set up to kind of set us together like that. And we have each other on social media still, and there's no romantic feeling. It's just sort of something where you're like, oh wow, this app really set me up for a type of, and maybe it'll go from friendship to relationship. But those 2 apps in my head are the top 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, you're spending more than just 2 seconds looking at the person's tits and deciding to swipe right. So, I mean, it does make sense. I mean, I'm sure there are like other reasons, maybe such as the demographics of the people that use the app that makes a difference. But yeah, let's move on to the next question here. I have another one right here. Homie in the chat asks, what does it mean if a guy and I are having a really good conversation going into the DMs, but one day he just suddenly stops, but there was nothing said or done that made them do that?
Oh, I feel your pain, buddy.
Yeah, this is the classic ghosting. It's
I usually use the term ghosting for when they not only stop talking, but if they block, they don't want you to see social media.
So you think like just not responding is like different?
I would say, and do not be embarrassed about it at all. Even people who are like me, like a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. This happens to us. And they do this because they are just not good people. They talk with you because they probably thought one or two are hot, and so they start DMing you. You guys start talking, and the worst part is when you guys start having common, or you guys start having really good banter, and you're like, oh, this is going really great, and all of a sudden they just go, whoop, I'm gone. And this is when you have to realize that this person was not only talking to you, but probably 2 or 3 other people kind of like you, and having the same amount of banter too, and the same connection. And there comes a point now that most girls and guys do, where after they're done talking to like people at the same time, feeling like what we have is quite special, they're now just going to choose one or the other one, and you just didn't make the cut. And it's not anything you said, it's not how you look. This person just likes to see people as more of like a collective mind or something like that. It's and it's very common, and that's about it. Don't beat yourself over it or get like upset about it.
Yes, sometimes the vibes just aren't right. Like, I mean, speaking from personal experience, I mean, there's just times where it's like, fuck, like, we don't really get along that well. Like, even though, like right now, like, everything's going smooth, but, like, I can see how it's gonna fucking blow up one day and it's just not gonna work. So there's no point in just continuing the conversation.
And the fact that you're a person to kind of go, like, I don't think I did anything wrong to make us stop having this conversation, so why did they stop, makes you someone who is much more emotionally mature than this other person. Because this person didn't even have the common courtesy to say those 2 sentences that Gordon just said, which was, we aren't even on the same wavelength, I feel, so I'm sorry, I don't really see a point of going on about. They don't even have the courtesy to say that.
Oh, we have AIDS Master. AIDS Master, what's going on?
Nothing right now, dude. I just have, like, the one question. What about cock crushing in the relationship?
What the fuck is cock crushing?
Like, picture a ball peen hammer, slam on the cock.
Yeah, I know. I've never done it myself, but I do know some people in my friend group who are into this energy. It's a sort of sadomasochist, BDSM sort of vibe that we're going in.
I have a question about simps. What do you think about simps?
Simps.
You're funny.
Well, thank you. You answered my question. Goodbye.
Okay, bye. Goodbye. Okay, hold on. I have to fix my my camera again. But thanks for joining. We encourage anyone that has any questions about relationships to join in. The more detailed, the better. You can even tell us about your adventures with some trannies or something. Nothing wrong against trannies or anything, but...
Do you know what a simp is, Gordon?
I have no clue what a simp is.
So what that guy was saying, simp is basically the new version of what we the guy.
Sorry, what? You cut out.
Simp is the new version, new 2020 definition of what we call the nice guy complex.
Ah, okay.
Except they're doing it differently now because we have so many different DMs or social media and stuff like that. And a simp is someone...
Oh, another one.
Ooh.
It's Amizal. How's it going, man? Hey.
Hi.
I have one question.
Okay.
Do you hate niggers?
Not really. I think your preference is black people, right, Amanda?
It's not a preference. It's just I've dated someone of African American descent for the past 8 months, and then a few years ago I dated someone who was half Trinidadian and half Quebecois. So I think what you're saying right now is when you say the N-word with a hard R, you're probably someone who's giving us the same energy as 12 or 13. And from my discussions with my ex-boyfriends or whatever, the idea of someone having a race preference is a pretty bigoted outlook on a lot of things. And for example, I've known some people who have dated other people of color, so they think they're allowed to say certain things or culturally appropriate certain styles, or because my boyfriend / girlfriend isn't gonna say anything. It's fine.
Yeah.
But unless you and your ancestors and families themselves have either built railroads or been genuinely have experienced xenophobia or rape, you shouldn't be using words like ching or the N-word or anything like that. I don't know, like, it's not like any of my boyfriends were from families of slaves or anything like that, at least not to my knowledge. But never once did they ever.
How would
try
that
to
even
explain...
come up in a conversation? Like, yo, Amanda, like my grandpa was a slave.
I'll give you an
or
example.
did you actually ask, like Waniel?
No, that's none of.
Are you from
business.
slave heritage?
Why would you call it slave heritage? That's so funny.
I don't know.
No, I'll give you an example. My boyfriend in university, he was half Trinidadian, and we were at some sort of party or whatever, and there's a song that came out the N-word, and he kind of starts talking, and he goes like, I don't say that word, and he goes, and he's like, a bunch of my other friends do, but I don't get mad about it. I go, so why do you not say it? And he just goes, because my family has never anything of that measure, so it doesn't even feel right when it comes out of my mouth. Well, my current boyfriend, he's someone who writes songs and he raps a lot. So he has used the N-word quite often, even when he sings, when he writes, when he talks. And it's never been something where I go, hey, you're not allowed to say that. I'm a Chinese girl from Edmonton, and I'm going to say no.
Yeah. Okay, we have another question here. Homie Jay-Z asks, is it okay for the girl to make the first move?
Download Bumble. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it's like way more attractive for a girl to actually make the first move, and I think a lot of guys will agree with me on this. And it's not even just about tradition or something that the guy always has to make the first move, but like it speaks numbers to the person's confidence, and that's really sexy in itself.
My game is the girl has a cock.
Okay.
I'm just asking.
What did you say?
His brother's girlfriend has a cock. So I mean, that's not really a question.
That's more of a statement. So.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. That's
I think
amazing.
when a girl asks, out first, it's getting more common, obviously, than when. And at least I tell my girlfriends to never shy away from making moves, because it's not only do guys, I agree, find it hot when a girl asks first. It's just it's big energy right there. That's top energy. That's what we say.
Yeah, top energy, 100%. Because I mean, how often do you have a girl ask you out? Like as a guy, like I can count on one hand, and it's probably like this, 2. Yes, how's it going? I think you're muted.
Can't hear you.
Oh, he left. But you can type a message, and we'll be sure to answer it.
Yes, I think at least a lot of girls are scared to do the first move because there's a misconception.
Hey, yep.
Yeah.
What team is in the back on your wall?
It's the Canucks.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Normal if my girlfriend beats me senselessly with an iron rod, like one of Saddam Hussein's hostages.
Okay, that's hot.
If you're into it, if that's part of your sexual agreement, go ahead. We're not here to kink shame.
Oh, yes is back.
Yo.
Yo.
Does the guy have to shave his ass? Thanks.
Does the guy have to shave his ass?
No. I like it when guys are hairy.
Mm.
But
well, I
that's
mean,
just
clearly you
a lot of
love
other-
the smooth skin too, right?
Yeah, of course. But
Thanks for the follow.
As a romantic partner, you don't usually get to have a in the other
Bro,
person.
we know you having a smooth face means your ass is hairy as fuck. Don't lie.
Okay, sure.
He said, yeah.
He said that I have a hairy as fuck ass because my face is so smooth. That's cool.
Here's the thing about Asian folks. If we really have to bring race to this,
Yeah.
is that they're pretty hairless on top and then they're pretty hairy on the bottom. That's never been most girls.
Hello, yes.
Yep.
Do you have another question?
Can you play her a song on the piano? Thanks.
I can't really play it on the piano. I can play on the guitar.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Just like a fast song while we wait for another question.
Play I Wanna Know Why? All right.
I wanna know why.
Can you hear that? Matt?
Yep.
You play Despacito on the guitar.
I mean, I could, but I don't really want to.
No, I wanna hear I wanna know why.
I wanna know why. I wanna be the reason why. I wanna make your day. I wanna make you stay. I wanna be your everything that's great. I wanna know why. I wanna be the reason why. I wanna make your day. I wanna make you stay. I wanna be your everything that's great. Cause I'm a mess right now, and I confess right now that I'm heartbroken, but we haven't spoken in a couple of days. And I hope you're okay. Well, I hope you're okay. Cause you're beautiful, know that. And why don't you show that? Cause you're a fucking star. Cause I see what I see and I wanna be free. But life is but another dream. Know why? I wanna be the reason why. I wanna make your day. I wanna make you stay. I wanna be your everything that's great. I wanna know why. Yeet, wanna be the reason why. I wanna make your day. I wanna make you stay. I wanna be your everything that's great. All right, that's the first verse. All right, all good.
I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah. So that song is what we refer to as bottom energy there. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, that's follow me for my next EP coming out, guys.
Actually, though, I'm waiting for.
Hey man, I'm not even coming in to troll. That was really good, but if you could, do a line of Adderall and then play through Fire and Flames.
Where do I get Adderall, Amanda? Do you know?
I have Adderall. Do you want some?
Oh, you do?
I'm not gonna share it.
Oh, well, I mean, I'll pay you. But thanks for the comment there, Rod. That was meant a lot. Not really, but I'm kidding. All right, let's proceed to our next question. Back on topic here, guys. All right, so is a 10-inch dick long enough for you?
How much is 10-inch?
So like this is 6 inches. So like.
So from middle finger to your wrist.
Yeah, that's 6 inches. Don't ask me why I know about that, but I'm assuming like this long. That's probably. I mean, that's pretty long.
I don't think I've ever had experience with any of my boyfriends with a 10-inch. I've gone
12 inches before.
No, I think the most is probably 8 or 9.
Okay.
But it's not about the size of the
It's
wave,
how you fucking use it, guys.
Motion of the ocean. Motion of the ocean. Honestly, the most boring part about sex probably comes down to the actual like penis and vagina thing. It's everything else that comes before. It's about the foreplay. It's everything else. So study up on your knowledge and everything, because girls are usually not impressed with the size of your dick. They're usually more impressed with how you are and what your energy brings to the bedroom. That's like $1 million.
Okay.
You're right. Girls won't tell them.
I'm gonna rephrase this question, but what about limp dick?
So, are we talking about like, are you a grower or a shower? Sort of
No, what I mean is like you're having sex and then like all of a sudden like your dick goes like limp or something. Like obviously it's not a flattering thing, right? It's not erectile dysfunction because some people get it when they're drunk as well, right? Like whiskey dick.
I've been with my first kind of boyfriend when I first went to university suffered from erectile dysfunction. And it's actually quite common in a lot of athletes, especially athletes who have certain helmets that give them a bit of a hard time with their memory. And it's scientifically shown that also does affect the bed sometimes. And that's why a lot of guys who get limp dick a lot get really angry. But it's nothing to be embarrassed about either. It's something that it's just going to happen once or twice, maybe 3 or 10 times. But eventually, when you get more comfortable with your partner, limp dick soon becomes like.
Okay, but is it like disappointing for you? Like just picture the scene, right? It's Valentine's Day, and your boyfriend rips off your clothes, and his fucking dick won't get hard.
Yeah.
Like is that like what goes on like a female's head like during that time? Obviously younger, for a guy you would be like embarrassed as hell.
Yeah, when I was 18 and it was my
guillotine.
Okay. When I was 18 and I first experienced that, I took it quite personally at first. Like, I'm not hot enough. Is it because I'm fat? Is it that he won't get hard to me? But then it got to a point where I didn't take it personally anymore, because I sort of realized that, like, oh, this is something that, like, a bunch of do, like, suffer from sometimes. So I have, been disappointed, but I don't let it show on my face anymore. Because the more annoyed a girl shows in, like, her demeanor, the more limp the dick is going to go, and more often it's going to go, too. So if any of you girls or guys out there sort of, like, wish your partner would stop getting limp dick, just stop making it a big deal. And sort of just going, oh, it's fine, we can, like, eat ass, or whatever, it's fine, with something else. And soon the guy's just going to be, oh, not that embarrassed about it, okay, and then he's going to get hard more.
I mean, eventually he'll get there. Maybe just some more of a foreplay or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, if this person is really someone special, just work with it, and it's going to be fine. You're not going to become Usain Bolt when you start your first class of track and field. You're going to have to fucking build up to it, do a few regional, and then do some provincial competitions. Maybe you'll get to the worlds, and you will if you just commit to it.
Yeah. Joaquin, whiskey dick is like when you drink like alcohol, and then sometimes
I know what whiskey dick is.
Yeah, so basically fuck the entire track team. That's if they're rich, it might be worth it. Like if they're all literally Michael Phelps rich, go ahead and do it. Okay, on to the next question here. So, what are your thoughts on love, affection, dating, etc. during quarantine? This is probably something that we can both relate to quite well. Unless you're like, are you quarantining with your boyfriend at all or no?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't have a boyfriend,
Oh,
so that's.
I thought you had a
10
current
times harder for
boyfriend.
me.
Twitch stream.
No.
Twitch viewers, you've heard it here first. Amanda Wing Chi Lam is single. Slide into her DMs and follow her on Instagram. You don't need to follow me, but you can follow me on Twitch.
Yeah. I think for the people
You
who
should
are
just
kind
go
of
in, man. Just go in. Like, come on, bud. We're all
dude.
rooting for you, dude. We're all rooting for you. Chat's got your back, fam.
Chat's got my back. Well, unfortunately,
Bro, he's
I'm
right.
taken.
Honestly, make a move.
No, sorry, man. I'm actually taken right now, but yeah.
I know you are. Don't worry.
No, but quarantine right now is
A while ago. It's okay.
yeah. We had a relationship, and there was a kid.
Yeah.
What appeared out of her vagina was a person called Rod. And Rod had a huge dick. No, but during quarantine, this unprecedented time. I'm saying that as like sarcastic because everyone uses that word. We're in unprecedented times right now. It's difficult and it's very trying for couples, I would say. Because like if you're used to seeing the person like every single day, this is like fuck. It makes you feel so lonely, especially if there's no like if the communication isn't there. If the communication is there, I don't think there's that big of an issue.
Well, I think people who have their love language as physical touch for the top of it
Yes.
will find this time especially. But no one ever said that phone sex was illegal or anything like that. So just do what you can. It's going to be hard. Don't have sex with someone who you aren't living with right now during quarantine. It's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I agree.
Just to help you, think about the most amazing date you're going to have with this person once this quarantine is over. It's going to be better time you guys ever even touched. Yeah, and you know what? Jerk off, masturbate. That's not illegal.
Just think about the sex afterwards. You're gonna throw her against the wall, treat her like a dog. I'm kidding.
Just throw her off the balcony.
And then get limp dick, yeah. And then you're like, fuck. Yeah, because you're gonna be. Just imagine, the president of the United States, Donald Trump, is gonna announce tomorrow, we are allowing people to see each other. And then all of a sudden, you're with your girlfriend, but you forgot that you jerked off 500 times beforehand. And as you're taking your pants off, you get limp dick. That would just be fucking tragic.
Yeah, this is a great time for you guys and girls to really study up on your material too. You know, just kind of like start exploring certain things where you're like, quarantine's over, like I'm gonna fucking like live all my stuff, because now we kind of understand that we should have done it more. So when you're gonna be able to do whatever your dreams are or your kinks are, you're gonna be able to do it, but you're gonna be able to study up on it now. Like you have your resources, see how it works or whatever. Yeah.
Just practice how to make that ocean flow out of the girl's pussy. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not about the size. It doesn't matter if it's fucking 15 inches, okay?
It's about the motion of the ocean.
Okay. Here's a question for you. How do you feel about long-distance relationships?
Mine didn't work. That's why my relationship ended.
Yeah, I feel like it's super hard.
It is really hard, and it takes a certain amount of security in a relationship. I was with my guy for about 8 months, and I came back to Canada because my visa expired in Hawaii. And when we got back, we were bragging about how long distance and how we're like, you know what, other people won't even compare to how well we're distance. But there's something very depressing about looking at this person over Facebook or wherever and just being able to see them but not being able to touch them or fully communicate things that you wouldn't be able to communicate.
So what kind of regimen did you have in place, like when you guys started going long distance? Like, was it like FaceTime every single day, or?
Yeah, we would FaceTime. We try to make time. So at the evening, my time was 8:30, and I would try to be ready to FaceTime with my partner. And if I thought that, oh, I have a lot of things to do today, I would message them in the afternoon. Go, hey, can we do 10 p.m. instead? And having a set schedule of when you can see that person helps wonders for a relationship. And being able to do an activity together too. So what we tried to do was that you can start a TV show together, and there's a lot of websites that help FaceTime the person and watch the show online together. Yeah, Netflix party with them. You can learn a new language with them on Duolingo. You can have doing at the same time, and that helps a lot.
Okay.
Try to find things to do online together, and be able to set a schedule when you guys can talk about. But mine didn't work, so I don't know how great this is.
Yeah, maybe your advice isn't very good, but I was actually contemplating long distance like a year ago because I was offered a job in Saskatoon out of all places. Yeah, I was ew. But I mean, thank God I didn't take the job. But I mean, thinking about it, like fuck, it's difficult.
It is. It's very difficult. I say don't dive into a long distance relationship until you and your partner sort of have it that what you guys have is a stable long term relationship. If you are still in that weird honeymoon phase and you want to go into long distance, it's not saying it's impossible, but it's like a 5 in 10, 4 in 10 chance to go well. But if you guys have been together.
Less.
Yeah. I don't know.
Four out of 10. That's I don't know. Like, but yeah, Saskatoon. Like, I wouldn't even be able to think about like what I would even do in Saskatoon. Like, I don't know, just fucking.
Dude, Saskatoon is so depressing. I went there.
I know.
All the time. It's so gross.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna offer me like 80 grand or something. I was like, okay, maybe. And then they came up and they were like, sorry, kid, 45 grand. I'm like, what the fuck? I make more here. Why would I move? I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay, here's a question. Homie in the chat asks, is watching porn considered cheating? No.
Ask your partner, and if their partner thinks it, then they probably have some weird insecurity about it from the past that they're gonna have to get through on their own. But if you're someone who has watched porn, regularly, and there's nothing bad with watching it, just don't become too obsessed with it. There's no reason why that should happen. And ask her, or ask this person, and just ask them, oh, do you want to watch porn with me?
Yeah. I feel like that's like so much, like you connect more on a deeper level because, I mean, I don't know about you and how much porn you watch, but like porn is like super entertaining, like just by yourself, but even more with a partner. And then like you see like some like weird ass shit, like I don't know, some stepsister shit or something, and you're like, wow, you want to try that? And then maybe you like it. I don't know. I'm not saying I've done this, but
yeah. If I had someone say I was really, some people think celebrities are a form of almost cheating and stuff like that. So when another partner is scared that you're getting pleasure and sexual pleasure from some other that's like online, it's not even another person. It's like watching a TV show or something, and you just so happen to get hard and jack off. That's, in my definition, that's not cheating. But if your partner's definition, then that's what they have. We're in the 21st century now, and everyone is like. So.
Wait, what did you say? Everyone's jerking off?
I said if your partner gets insecure that you're jerking off to anyone else but them, that's on them. That's not on you.
100%. So I jack off to a hot porn star.
Are you saying that, or are you reading that out loud?
That's literally Eric saying it. You're just trolling. Thinking I'm clapping this porn star's cheeks. Is that cheating? Okay. Well, I mean, the only other question that's on the list here is pretty troll. It says, what if my boyfriend has a wobbly dick and can't stay erect? Like
wobbly as in what it looks like? Like
I think it's just a
banana
troll.
dick?
I think it's just a troll, but yeah. I think that was a pretty good first episode. What do you think, Amanda?
Yeah,
Solid
I think this is
2
really
hours.
good. 2 hours! Wow, that's so good. I didn't think we'd fill up that.
But I kind of messed up because on my stream, I have my camera on my right screen, but I have our Discord on the left screen. So it always looks like I'm not looking at you, but I'm actually looking at you.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've been looking.
That's okay. Okay. Someone says, what's your body count, Amanda?
4. 5.
4? 5? Okay.
Yeah.
That's respectable. That's the same amount of people that have followed this stream today.
Yeah, perfect.
Right? Yeah, mine's at 4. So wait.
Every year, 2 every year since I turned.
Okay. That's respectable. I mean, it's probably less than Jazun. Is that her name?
Here's the thing about body count.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And if your partner asks about it, you don't have to share it if you don't want to. Maybe you want to share certain things. Like, if you start racking up a body count more than one, go and get yourself tested maybe once a year. And it's really easy. All the clinics in Canada are basically free. And even if you don't have the best insurance, you go, you get tested. Maybe it's a little swab. Maybe it's a little blood draw. It doesn't even matter. And then in a 1 week or 2, they tell you and update you on your, making sure you don't have any sexually transmitted disease. Above all, I always use protection.
100%.
And I never sleep with someone who I've just met or anything like that. But yeah, never frown down on someone for their body count either, or never brag about how little or how much your body is. Because it doesn't matter, and you only sound like a damaged pot.
On a side note, have you seen the Netflix show You?
Yeah.
It's freaking amazing, isn't it?
It's so good. I love it so much.
Go watch it, kids. Favorite. It's fucking amazing. It's so creepy.
Yeah,
and it kind of like in the beginning, like you can see like this could actually be like a normal person, like thinking these thoughts, until he starts like fucking becoming a psychopath and shit.
Yeah. The best thing about the show, it makes you empathize for a psychopath, borderline sociopath. And that's like the most interesting thing, because it's very an audience to cheer for the antagonist. But if the antagonist is now the main character, you have nothing else but to feel empathy for him, even though he doesn't feel any empathy at all.
Yeah.
It's so good. It really makes you it makes you go, whoa, people like this exist. I had a stalker in grade 7, so I especially enjoyed that.
Nice. I feel like that show kind of defines like the nice guy mentality as well. Like a lot of what he does is like, I did this for you, Beck. You had to suck my dick. It's called.
He is 100% slash weird nice guy complex going on.
Yeah. Simp as well, right? Same thing.
Yeah, simp. S-I-M-P.
It's a show called You. Y-O-U. It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good show. You should watch it. It's
honestly, one of my favorites.
It's probably like the most bingeable show on Netflix right now.
Yeah, I 100% agree. There's only 2 seasons, but each episode is quite long.
Yeah.
And the second season is actually better than the first season, which you rarely see from that
No, no,
show.
no, 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 no. Okay, so I would say the beginning and end of the second season are better than the first season, but the first season's better.
Yeah. But I think the only reason why I like the first season, like climax and build up was better because I genuinely had no idea what was going to happen next.
Yeah, I know.
There,
That's good
I
show.
kind of knew who he was and what kind of person he was before.
Yeah. Anyways, kids, watch the show. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right.
This
It was
was
fun.
fun.
Yeah, we should do this again sometime.
Yeah, episode 2 coming next.
All right, guys. Remember to hit that follow button, and if you have Amazon Prime, give me money by subscribing.
Yeah.
All right,
That
guys.
too.
It was fun. See ya. Bye-bye.